welcome back to another episode of AS InfoShare, where we discuss the autoimmune and chronic inflammatory disease Ankylosing Spondylitis. My name is Enrico Bolanino. The information provided in this podcast should not be considered medical advice. We encourage all listeners to consult their healthcare professionals for medical concerns. Thank you. Today, we have AS warrior and host of the Facebook page and YouTube channel Ankylosing Spondylitis Beyond the Pain, Kamal Joshi. His page and channel are dedicated to sharing the real-life journey of living with ankylosing spondylitis. Welcome to the show, Kamal.
Hello, sir. Thank you.
So you were diagnosed with AS in 2012, correct?
I was diagnosed almost 14 years back. You can take it 2012.
Okay. So you found ways from that time to ease the pain, regain mobility, and reclaim your life through gentle yoga, mindful movement, and a supportive mindset. Can you explain what you did and how it all helped?
Yeah, sure. As I was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis, it was actually just before my marriage. Before that, I was a gym lover doing intense workout for months. When the pain started, I thought it was just muscles stretch or something, but it kept spreading. Eventually, I was diagnosed like many others. I was also told that there is no cure for ankylosing spondylitis. At first, I followed the doctor advice, the medicines that he prescribed me, some rest, but the stiffness, even after having that medicines, the stiffness didn't go away. That's when I took into my own hands. I researched deeply, experimented my own diet, and realized that when I ate, had a huge impact when I ate something, when I'm eating something. I eliminated high starch and inflammatory foods, which reduces my symptoms. But the biggest change came with yoga and movement. Yoga became the foundation of my recovery. Gentle stretches, like mindful movements and daily mobility exercises changed everything. I realized that staying still makes AS worse. Like if you don't do any activity, this will worse your AS, but movements give you control over it. It combined this with a strong mindset, believing that I am in charge of my health, not the disease. Then only you can go ahead.
So going back, what kind of medications were you taking at the time? What did they prescribe you in originally?
Originally, when I was diagnosed, I would say that at that time, for me, it was prescribed SARS DS. That was a medicine. And again, there was a painkiller named Nicoxia. The SARS DS I used to take regularly. However, Nicoxia, whenever it was needed. This medication was prescribed to me when I was diagnosed 14 years ago by my doctor. And even though I visited my doctor regularly and he has suggested me the changes in my prescription over time, I haven't followed any new prescription because this medicines, Nicoxia and SARS, has been working well for me. However, I strongly believe that medication alone is not enough. It helps in controlling symptoms, but my real progress came when I focused on exercise, diet, lifestyle changes. That's what has helped me regain mobility and live a better life.
So when you say diet, I know you said you removed the starches. Give me some examples of what your diet was like back then and what you changed. Like what kind of starches, what kind of foods, what did you add into your diet? What did you take away?
Yeah, sure. I follow a diet that works best for me, focusing on small, frequent meals rather than eating too much at once. My approach is simple: listen to my body and avoid anything that triggers inflammation. If I talk about my daily routine, what exactly I do every day and what I eat, in the morning I start my day with hot water, that too in a Malasan pose. It's a yoga pose. Then I go for a workout. Then post exercise, I have fresh juices or coconut water or fruits. Then again, if I come to the mid-morning snacks, I take nuts or lentils. Evening snacks, lunch, dinner. So this way I go with five types of meal. I avoid processed foods, excessive sugar and high starch foods. I have found they increase inflammation in my body, but the key is that everybody is different. What works for me may not work for other. However, if you break your meal in 5 times will be good, and adding some fresh fruits made it better for me in the morning. And there was some like few things, like it has been said universally that dairy products are not good. However, in my case, I used to take milk. I tried elimination diet with milk as well. However, milk didn't made any changes, like any difference. So I started regularly consuming milk. Still I do. So everyone have a different body, so they have to go through an elimination diet and then they can check it out. So it took a long time for me to make my own diet. However, once I did, I find it out like what was the food that was affecting me, and then I started my proper diet and everything went normal after that. Sugar is something which I completely eliminated from my diet. That was again an important thing.
Sometimes it's hard for people to give up those things. They love them so much, certain, whether it's a treat, sometimes ice cream or whatever it is. How do you discipline yourself to not eat those foods? Do you do anything mentally to prepare you, or do you just go off of it every once in a while? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, sometimes even cheat meal is good. You will get to know that if that meal is impacting you badly or what. However, yeah, because I have kids, so you have to go out with them also, and the food that they like is not good for us. So we have to control. Yes, discipline is very important in fighting against ankylosing spondylitis.
Yeah. The kids are the biggest provocators of eating bad. I have 3 of my own, and they like to snack, and then you see the foods that they're eating, and the temptation is there. But like you, I definitely notice when I eat starches that's when I feel it. I feel the fatigue, I feel the stiffness, so I try to avoid it. It's very difficult. And like you, I have 3 kids, and there's always things around the house, and they like to, their mom likes to buy them snacks and everything. But you try, you try to eat. I have certain foods that I try to eat throughout the day, that I try to hit. Certain fruits, yogurts, probiotics, that kind of stuff, and I try to load up on all of that and hopefully get filled on that, so I don't get tempted for the other stuff. What about the exercises? You said a lot of the exercises you do, stretches. Tell us about some of the ones you do, and how often you do them throughout the day, and what your whole exercise routine is like.
Okay, I exercise every single day. Like even if it's just light stretching, the moment I stop, stiffness start creeping my back. So consistency is the key. My routine includes yoga, mobility exercises, light strength training that I do in the morning, stretches to reduce stiffness. Yoga for flexibility and mobility is important. I don't like lifting weight. I don't do any. I like doing a freestyle workout, going out in the park, using a resistant bend that is good to for the strength. And there are few posture correction movements to avoid for the long-term issues. So yes, I take care of all those things. However, you should not bound yourself with only with free workout or something. I do cycling too. I do swimming too. Every day it is important to do exercise. Anyway, if you're not liking to go outside for a free workout, then you can go for a cycling. You can go for a swimming. So that changes that I made in every day to day. So that made it like possible for me to work out every day. And now since I have added yoga, it's been 2 years, and yoga has done a great job in my recovery. Like this is my second time that I'm trying to recover. Earlier also I got recovered, then later I met with an accident. But yes, yoga is a key. It's something which helps for the flexibility and everything. it gives you confidence in your back.
Are there certain type of yoga poses or stretches that you do regularly, or is there ones that you prefer or you feel better after you do?
Yes, there are postures, some yoga exercises like every day for breathing also, because in our ankylosing spondylitis, it has said that slowly the posture gets bent. So in that case, the breathing exercises, the yoga, I have made few short on my channel too that actually affected me, that helps me a lot. Like if I do that yoga pose in the morning, immediately I will get a relief from my upper back or something. So I try that, and even I share that with other people's as too.
So we can see all of those on your Facebook page and YouTube channel. Ankylosing Spondylitis Beyond the Pain.
I love to share all those things, and I have almost shared many of the poses that are comfortable to do for ankylosing spondylitis patients. There are many poses in yoga which actually, when you do that, gives you pressure on your knees. Exercise, yoga, everything is important, but everyone has to make sure that other joints are also protected. While doing exercise or while doing yoga, if we damage our knees, it's again going to be a problem. So even while cycling, one should make sure that he is on a right height. The same that I follow when I do yoga. I make sure that I wear knee pad. I don't while doing yoga, I do yoga poses which don't give more stretch on my knees. So everything has to be calculated. Even if we are doing exercises, everything has to be calculated. Doctor is saying that exercise is good, exercise is important. That doesn't mean that we are keep on doing exercises, and that is again harming our other joint. I know my timings, I know my limits, I know my boundaries, and I do accordingly. And this helped me a lot.
What about some of the other therapies that you do? One of your videos, you talk about heat therapy. Are there any other things that you do and that help you with the easing pain and helping you with ankylosing spondylitis?
Yes, like heat therapy, especially heat therapy. I use heat therapy especially in winters or during flare-ups. It helps relax the muscles and reduce pain. Apart from that, I do deep breathing, meditation, hydrotherapy, hot water bath. That is good. That has even made a good effects on my inflammation, my body. These therapies don't just help physically but also mentally, because stress is a bigger trigger for inflammation, which when you do all these therapies, then you get relief from the stress too, which help to fight against AS altogether.
When you're not doing any of these things, like let's say you didn't do your exercises for 1 day or 2 days, do you feel it right away? How does it impact your body when you don't do any exercise?
Yeah, like if I stop exercising, I immediately feel stiffness, fatigue, and discomfort. Obviously, 1 day of inactivity equals day of pains, like days of pains. The same goes for food. If I eat high starch food or if I do any cheat meal, go outside, then I feel the inflammation kicking in immediately or the next morning. That's why I stick to my routine. It's not restriction, but it's a way to stay in control. Even if I am doing regularly exercises, even after that, if I do a cheat meal for a single day, the repercussion will be the just next day, early in the morning. I will feel stiffness, lesser or higher, but yes, I will feel immediately the next day this inflammation on my body. Sometimes I have felt that my fingers, my hand has gone, there's a swelling a little bit. These are the symptoms when you get to know, okay, you had something which actually reacted bad in your body.
What about fatigue? Do you, when you eat the starch or when you don't exercise, does the fatigue kick in?
Yeah, as I always say that everyday exercise is important. Like if I don't do exercise today in the morning, like by the end of the day, I will feel low. So if you want to be charged up for all 12 hours, for 9 hours, it's important to give your 1 hour in the morning and then go for your work. So I have felt that someday if I'm somewhere outstation, if I'm not doing exercise in the evening, I feel little low. I feel discomfort, I can say. But yes, if I do regularly exercises, if I follow the diet, I don't even feel like stiffness 0.5% too.
Is there anything that you do to like get yourself going? Like, if you're tired in the morning, it's like, oh, I don't really want to do it. Or what gives you that energy to push through?
So that's really a nice question to ask because I have so many weapons with me. I mean, the stability ball, the resistant band. Maximum people with AS, they don't start up with, they don't wake up with a positivity because they have inflammation, they have stiffness in their body. So initially in the starting days, yes, obviously my kids who usually slept just next to me, so early in the morning when I used to wake up, I used to see them, and then I could not sleep. I have to stand up and I have to run out. And apart from that, if you ask me for the tips, yes, I have one tip which I follow from 2 or 3 years. One of my friend gave me this. It's a Rudraksh mala, we call it. So early in the morning when you wake up, whatever the thoughts or whatever the stiffness in your body you have, doesn't matter. Don't even open your eyes, start chanting, and either you can chant anything that you have learned in your school, or you can simply say Om. So just repeat that for 108 times, and then you will find after 108 times you will find yourself on a yoga mat. This really works. It's important. Even if you go normally to an exercise, unless and until you are good from your inside, that won't work. So it's very important to have a good positive mind. Then you should start your day. Many people will directly find themselves in the park.
That's amazing. I'm going to try that. You're in India, right? What's the healthcare system like in India? Like, how do you, like for medication and treatments and therapies and all that, how does it work over there?
This is the biggest challenge in India. In India is that there's no real support from our government for people living with ankylosing spondylitis. Unlike some other countries, we don't have disability benefits, financial aid, or proper insurance coverage. Even getting a disability certificate is nearly impossible, no matter how severe the condition is. So in India, yes, it's really challenging. AS is a progressive and a painful disease, and many people in India are silently suffering. Treatment, if I talk about biologic treatment, which can help many patients, are so expensive that I would say 99% of people cannot afford them. On the top of that, the insurance company refused to cover us once they find out about this disease. So making treatment is more difficult here. It's a battle, I would say. I strongly believe that this needs to be changed. There are thousands of people who are struggling, who are losing their job because of ankylosing spondylitis, facing financial ruin because of this disease. We need proper disability recognition, insurance support, and access of affordable treatment. This is not just my fight. This is the fight of every AS warrior in India, and if we don't raise our voice, nothing will change. And this is the reason why I started my channel. I even recovered in the past, then I met with an accident, then again I recovered, but in this meantime I was cut off from this social media, from this network, just because of the energy that I don't feel positive from this social media. However, for the second time when I recovered back and then I joined this social media, I found everything was same, like nothing changed. People still getting the wrong treatment here for a couple of years, and people are they're on medicine. Like if I am talking about me, I am on Nicoxia. This was prescribed to me on 14 years back. Today, mostly people are on Tofacetamet, I believe that's the name. So they are mostly on these medicines. No biologics. So this is why I prefer to record my videos of meditation, of exercises, so that they can help others who are not taking biologics with this medicine. If they regularly do exercises, I'm sure they will feel some relief.
Well, thanks so much. I can tell you that I've watched your channel, and there's definitely a lot of good information there. Very inspirational, very informative. To keep up with Kamal and to get his tips on managing ankylosing spondylitis, again, go to his Facebook page and his YouTube channel, Ankylosing Spondylitis Beyond the Pain. And remember, you can keep up with us at AS InfoShare on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube. And you can subscribe to our podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. Once again, thank you so much, Kamal, for all your tips and everything. I hope more people subscribe to your site and stay informed. It's very informative and really good of all the things that you've been doing on there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for calling me here.